Whale deaths in San Francisco Bay, a growing concern. The alarming increase in whale deaths around the San Francisco Bay Area has marine researchers deeply concerned. In just a matter of months, nearly 24 whales have perished in this region, according to local animal rescue organizations. These numbers are raising red flags and prompting urgent investigations into what might be causing such a devastating trend. So far this year, the California Academy of Sciences has confirmed the deaths of 19 gray whales, 2 unidentified baleen whales, and 1 minke whale in the Bay Area. What makes this situation even more troubling is that at least 7 of these gray whale fatalities have been linked to probable or suspected collisions with vessels. But here's where it gets controversial. Could human activity, specifically shipping traffic, be playing a larger role than previously acknowledged? This question is sparking heated debates among scientists, policymakers, and conservationists alike. Adding another layer of complexity, researchers have noticed an unusually high number of whale sightings in the Bay Area this year. Over 30 individual gray whales have been identified through photo identification techniques, and their physical conditions vary widely, from healthy to severely underweight. About a third of these whales appear to be lingering in the area for extended periods, staying for 20 days or more. Scientists predict they'll continue spotting them for a few more weeks before the whales begin their migration north to Arctic feeding grounds. Kathy George, director of cetacean conservation biology at the Marine Mammal Center in Sausalito, points out that these whales typically breed off the coast of Mexico and should already be farther north by this time of year. Why are so many still congregating in the Bay Area? And why does this feel like déjà vu? Back in 2019, a similar unusual mortality event claimed over 70 gray whales along the west coast, followed by another spike in 2021 when 15 whales died in the Bay Area alone. These patterns suggest something deeper may be at play. Between 2019 and 2023, the North Pacific gray whale population plummeted by an estimated 45%, according to data from the California Academy of Sciences. While previous unusual mortality events were often followed by population rebounds, the gray whale numbers haven't recovered as expected since 2019. In fact, NOAA reports show that the population dropped from nearly 27,000 in 2016 to just 13,230 during the winter of 2022 to 2023, a staggering decline tied to mass mortality events. This brings us to another critical concern: reproduction rates. Earlier this year, scientists in Southern California recorded a record low count of gray whale calves migrating past Central California toward Arctic feeding grounds. Only about 85 calves were observed, significantly lower than usual. It shows signs of concern for this population as it moves forward into the future, George explains. With fewer calves being born, the long-term survival of the species becomes increasingly uncertain. Researchers believe climate change may be altering ocean conditions and reducing prey availability in the Arctic, further complicating matters for these magnificent creatures. The San Francisco Bay Area plays a unique role in the gray whale's annual migration journey, acting almost like a puzzle piece in their lengthy trek between breeding and feeding grounds. However, recent discoveries paint a grim picture. Since late March, multiple dead whales have washed ashore, including a female gray whale found dead at Black Sands Beach on March 30. Necropsy results revealed she likely died from a vessel strike. Then, in May, 6 gray whales perished within a single week. Most recently, on July 7, a dead adult female gray whale was discovered near Richmond Long Wharf after suffering blunt force trauma consistent with a vessel collision. These incidents highlight the dangers posed by boating activities, particularly in areas frequented by whales. According to the Center for Biological Diversity, approximately 80 whales die each year due to vessel strikes. Gray whales, unlike humpback whales, tend to have a low profile in the water, making them harder to spot. That's why experts stress the importance of all boaters, from commercial ships to recreational sailboats, being whale-aware and slowing down in known habitats. While toxic algae blooms wreak havoc on marine life further south in Southern California, George clarifies that these aren't directly related to the whale deaths in the Bay Area. Gray whales passing through Northern California don't stop to feed in Southern California, which minimizes exposure risks. Still, researchers test for toxins during necropsies to rule out any potential connections. What do you think is driving this alarming trend? Is it primarily vessel strikes, shifting ecosystems caused by climate change, or perhaps something else entirely? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's dive deeper into this pressing issue together. Mystery of whale deaths in San Francisco Bay. What scientists are discovering. Something seriously wrong in the San Francisco Bay. Whales are dying at an alarming rate, and scientists are scrambling to figure out why. In 2025 alone, researchers have confirmed 21 gray whales, 2 unidentified baleen whales, and 1 minke whale found dead in the region, a stark jump from the 14 recorded in 2019 and 15 in 2021. But here's where it gets controversial. This spike isn't just a random event. It's part of a troubling pattern that began with a massive die-off in 2019, when nearly 700 gray whales perished along the west coast, a crisis scientists now call an unusual mortality event. And this is the part most people miss. The whales' struggles are deeply tied to climate change. A 2023 study linked the prolonged die-off to melting Arctic sea ice, which disrupted the delicate food chain of algae and plankton that gray whales rely on. Kathy George, a cetacean conservation expert, told ABC News that the recent deaths are a sign of concern for this population's future, especially as ocean conditions shift and prey availability dwindles. We're seeing gray whales in the bay later than usual, and that's not normal, she explained. It's like they're confused or desperate. So what's actually causing these deaths? 8 of the gray whales were likely struck by ships, but the rest remain a mystery. Researchers are also baffled by the sudden surge in whale sightings. Over 30 gray whales have been spotted in the bay this year, compared to just 6 in 2024. Are they seeking food? Avoiding predators? Or is this a last-ditch effort to survive in a rapidly changing ocean? The answers aren't clear, but the stakes are huge. Gray whales, once hunted nearly to extinction in the 19th century for their blubber, are now split into 2 populations, one of which is officially endangered. Their survival isn't just about saving a species, it's about understanding how climate change is reshaping entire ecosystems. Here's the big question: is it too late to reverse this trend, or can stricter regulations on shipping lanes and climate action still make a difference? What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments, because if these whales can't adapt, the consequences for marine life could be catastrophic. Gray Whale Crisis 2025. Scientists warn of alarming deaths and changing behavior. Urgent warnings from experts indicate a troubling trend in gray whale behavior. The statistics suggest a dire situation ahead. The Northeast Pacific gray whale, a remarkable species known for its migratory journey spanning thousands of kilometers from Mexico's warm lagoons to the icy waters of Alaska, is encountering a concerning reality. As of 2025, nearly 50 gray whale carcasses have been discovered along the shores of California, Washington, and Oregon, according to a report published by the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, which was corroborated by the local news outlet, KNKX Public Radio, based in Tacoma, Washington. This alarming statistic has already exceeded the total of 31 strandings recorded throughout 2024. This rise has sparked deep concern among marine scientists about a potential resurgence of the so-called unusual mortality event that impacted this whale population from 2019 through 2023. Marine biologist John Kalambakidis from Cascadia Research in Olympia, Washington, expressed his worries, stating, "We are witnessing sick whales, and the current conditions hint at a continuation, rather than an improvement, regarding the mortality events we observed previously." These majestic cetaceans are known for undertaking one of the longest migrations in the animal kingdom, covering an astonishing round trip of roughly 15,000 kilometers from the Pacific coast of Mexico to their Arctic feeding grounds. Throughout this exhausting journey, gray whales rely on their fat reserves, as they do not eat during migration. However, researchers are increasingly noting malnourished whales exhibiting empty stomachs and dangerously low fat reserves, which suggests that food scarcity in their Arctic feeding areas may be intensifying. Adding to the concern is the observation that some whales are now seeking food in uncommon areas, including San Francisco Bay and the coast near Grays Harbor, Washington. Such behaviors were notably absent before the crisis period that spanned from 2018 to 2023, potentially indicating a desperate response to the declining availability of food in their typical haunts. According to findings by Cascadia Research, these behavioral changes may be tied to the impacts of climate change. Rising ocean temperatures and the decline of sea ice are affecting the populations of vital prey, such as crustaceans and other small organisms that gray whales rely on for sustenance. The repercussions are being felt all along the whale's migratory path. In Washington state alone, 13 strandings had already been documented by the end of May. This number is more than double the average for that season. In Baja California, Mexico, the location where female gray whales typically give birth, at least 80 whales perished this winter, and birth rates have seen a significant decline, as reported by KNKX. Gray whales serve as crucial indicators of the health of our oceans, and the trends in mortality and malnutrition they are currently exhibiting underscore how climate change is already disrupting marine ecosystems worldwide. Incidents like these highlight the broader implications of biodiversity decline, which can have serious ramifications for food webs, fisheries, and overall ecosystem balance. Imagine the distressing sight of a dead gray whale, having washed ashore near San Francisco, marking the 9th one recorded in just this year. Many of these whales succumbed to malnutrition or fell victim to ship strikes due to their proximity to the coast. Scientists attribute their food scarcity to the effects of global warming. Camera with flash. NOAA Fisheries is actively monitoring whale strandings and shifts in their behavior as the situation evolves. While there's an urgent need for substantial global action, such as establishing international agreements focused on emissions and marine conservation, experts emphasize that individual efforts also play a critical role in addressing these issues. What are your thoughts on this alarming trend? Do you believe individual actions can truly make a difference, or is systemic change the only way forward? Join the conversation in the comments below.